country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Jackson Dart will be QB1 for the Giants the rest of this NFL season, starting this week against the Chargers, according to Coach Brian Daboll. Daboll took a pass, though, when it came to explaining his decision to bench Russell Wilson for Dart, but made it clear it was his call. Daboll, 1-13 his last 14 games on the hot seat in New York. Pro Football Hall of Famer Kurt Warner hoping that's not why the change was made.
Sometimes you start to feel that the coach is starting to feel that the seat is getting a little bit hot, and that, you have to make some kind of move to try to spark something inside the locker room, because what's going on the football field just hasn't been good enough. And I just hope that's not the case here, that you're throwing Jackson Dart out there with a tough schedule and with all the issues you have offensively, and he's not quite ready.
Kurt Warner on the Rich Eisen Show. Eagles starting edge rusher Nolan Smith strained triceps out until after the team's November 2nd bye. Number 13 Ole Miss will start Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback again against number 4 LSU on Saturday in place of the injured Austin Simmons. Simmons has been dealing with an ankle injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Thursday. I know we only focus on Caleb Williams, but is it time for us to start worrying about Michael Penix Jr. too? It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
Chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. Anne Murray.
Murray, present.
We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Had a guy text the show.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
An adult.
Hump day.
Said he loves the Humpty Bump.
It's hump day.
Leaves meetings early all the time so he can be in the car for the Humpty Bump.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I forgot his name.
Hump day.
It was a couple weeks ago.
It's hump day.
I just remembered.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Shout out to that guy.
Hump day.
Ole Miss is starting their backup.
It's hump day.
Who might be better than their starter.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Either way, he's got a tough ask on Saturday. Come on, Muse.
It's hump day.
Saints are a giant underdog.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Biggest in 50 years.
Hump day.
Historically bad.
It's hump day.
For an historically bad franchise.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Impressive.
Hump day.
We got Matt Parino coming up.
It's hump day.
He covers the Bills.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We got Russ Mitchell in hour 3.
Hump day.
C.D. Deuce got cut.
It's hump day.
Russell Wilson's done.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Should the Saints pursue him?
Hump day.
I got thoughts.
It's hump day.
You'll find out.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
After the break.
Hump day.
Well, not really after this break, but coming up.
It's hump day.
All right, let's get going here. We got a ton to do here as we push off from the dock on a busy day here. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, as LSU and Ole Miss steamroll toward the weekend, the SEC Coaches Teleconference was on Wednesday. Lane Kiffin and Brian Kelly were both on it. Lane Kiffin was asked if he was ready to announce a starting quarterback. Here's what he said.
That could go through at least longer than a day. Both guys did great today. I would always take everything into consideration, so we'll see as we get closer.
Okay, see as we get closer. Well. That's not what a bunch of reporters said. Chris Lowe, Pete Nakos, Pete Thamel, they've all got it that Ole Miss will, in fact, start Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback Saturday against LSU. This will be his third consecutive start. A Chambliss from Division II Ferris State. He's a senior, transferred to Ole Miss this year. Austin Simmons nicked his ankle. He's got an ankle against Kentucky. So the next week against Arkansas, Chambliss started. And then Chambliss started last week against Tulane, played pretty well. So much so that they're in rebel country. Lots of people are clamoring for Chambliss to be the guy. My, how quickly they can turn on you. How quickly they can adopt a guy after he beats a horrendous Arkansas team and Tulane. Whatever. We'll see how it all goes. Let me give you some of the deets first on Trinidad Chambliss and how this has all played out with Ole Miss and Austin Simmons and Trinidad Chambliss. If you remember, Simmons is the guy. Now, he's a big-time athlete, okay? 6'4", 215. And he's the guy last year. Remember, Ole Miss was playing Georgia. And Ole Miss ended up wiping the floor with Georgia last year. But early in that game, Jackson Dart went out with injury. Austin Simmons goes in, and the whole collective college football world, yours truly included, is going, oh, boy, here we go. Backup quarterback against Georgia. This is about to get ugly. And what happened? Boom, boom, boom. Simmons right down the field, touchdown. We're going, who the hell is this guy? Well, Jackson Dart didn't play in the bowl game. Simmons balled out in the bowl game. And so we go to SEC Media Days, and everybody's gaga over Austin Simmons. He's 19 years old. He's already graduated college, blah, 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 whatever. Lo and behold, it actually is hard to play quarterback at the major college level and in the SEC when you don't have experience. Sounds like we've been talking about that all summer as everyone tried to hype all these quarterbacks. So Simmons, through 2 games, had 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Simmons gets hurt. Chambliss plays against Arkansas, and he went out there and played really well in the Arkansas game. It was a 41-35 win for the Rebs. Chambliss on the day threw for 353. He ran for a couple of touchdowns. So they go into last week against Tulane, and he throws for 300, runs for 112, and all of a sudden people are going, man, Chambliss feels like he's a better fit for Lane Kiffin's offense than Austin Simmons. Never mind the fact that Simmons came in a pinch a year ago against Georgia and went right down the field. Anyway, all that to say, Chambliss it appears, is going to get the start against LSU. My theory here, I have a theory here on Chambliss that I want to talk about. First, Brian Kelly was asked on Monday, if you remember this, about preparing for 2 quarterbacks because LSU had to do that against Southeastern. Now, it's laughable, it was Southeastern, but they had to prepare for 2 quarterbacks last week. So he was asked, hey, is preparing for 2 quarterbacks against Southeastern to help you this week? Listen to what he said.
In some instances, it would be like Texas A&M last year. Those are 2 different quarterbacks. One was a pro-style quarterback, and one was certainly a dual threat that could run zone reads, do things of that nature. And it changes you dramatically. This week, both these quarterbacks are similar. And now, they have different skill sets in terms of but they can run the same offense with both of these players. So I'm not saying it's easier. It's hard, right? You've got 2 really good players, but it's not as that one is a pro-style quarterback and is not going to run, and the other one is simply a dual threat. They're both very similar.
I think we understand what he means there. That a year ago against Texas A&M, you're prepared for Connor Wegman. A year ago against A&M, you're prepared for Connor Wegman. You have them in a chokehold. You're leading by double digits. They go to Marcel Reed. Boom. Reed's running ability changed the whole dynamic of that game. LSU wasn't ready for that inexplicably, and it just weren't very good defense a year ago. This, regardless if it's Simmons or Chambliss, while they could do things differently, they're still going to function similarly within the offense, is what Brian Kelly is saying there. Lane Kiffin, after the game Saturday against Tulane, where Ole Miss won in a romp over the Green Wave, 45-10, where Chambliss was very good. Talked about, first of all, he was asked if Austin Simmons was available in that game, and then talked about what he liked about Chambliss.
Austin was available today, yep. I thought Trinidad played great. I loved the most important thing, not turning the ball over 2 weeks in a row, because if you do that, you win a lot of games if you take care of the ball. And first offense didn't turn it over back-to-back weeks. And he played really clean, not balls on the ground and one sack. So I think we had one last week. So back-to-back weeks, when you just don't have negative plays, he carries the ball 14 times, only loses 2 yards, only has the one sack. Everything else is positive, and you rush for 112. So what? 419 total in 3.5 quarters is really good.
Pretty good day. Pretty good day against Tulane. I have a theory I told you that I'd like to share with you, and my theory is about Trinidad Chambliss, and I think that so far he's been outstanding. That is objectively true. But he played at Division II Ferris State. I think we can all agree that wherever in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Trinidad Chambliss played high school football, and then at Division II Ferris State, he did not see the caliber of defense he's going to see on Saturday. I think that's fair to say. Transfers to Ole Miss. He gets his first action against Arkansas. This is an Arkansas defense that's 83rd in the country right now in total defense, and they are objectively poo-poo. They just blew an 18-point lead to Memphis, okay? So they got going against the terrible Arkansas D. Great. Then he gets to play Tulane, which was completely outmanned. Tulane's a good G6 school, but you see the difference between a G6 and a Power 4 program on display there. I'm not talking about bottom feeders like Duke and Northwestern. I'm talking about legitimate teams that have NFL players on it. You saw the difference there. Now, you got yourself feeling pretty good, but you're going to take on an LSU team with All-America caliber players at every level of your defense. NFL players at every level of the defense. Blake Baker with his exotic pressure schemes that Cade Klubnik, who's a fifth-year starter, a fifth-year senior, 3-year starter at Clemson, was confused by what Blake Baker's doing. Now you got a guy from Division II Ferris State. How do you think that's going to go for him? I think Trinidad Chambliss is walking into something the likes of which he has literally never seen. And the benefit for LSU, if you go back to what Brian Kelly was talking about, if you look at the Marcel Reed comp from a year ago, where LSU clearly was not ready, had not repped that. Now they got 2 weeks of game film on Trinidad Chambliss. You had 2 weeks of game film to look at, dissect, look at tendencies, strengths, weaknesses. It's a major benefit for LSU facing Chambliss in this situation, as opposed to if they had to do it 2 weeks ago. The closer we get to this game, the more bullish I am on LSU in this game. I just do not think Ole Miss's defense is any good. I do not think a Division II transfer at quarterback facing a real defense for the first time is going to go well. All those pros Ole Miss had on the team a year ago, they're all now in the NFL. I just do not think that this is a game where Ole Miss is going to match LSU blow for blow. And maybe Trinidad Chambliss on this stage proves me wrong. But like I've said about Arch Manning, like I said about Austin Simmons, like I said about DJ Lagway, like I said about all the quarterbacks we talked about this offseason who had yet to do it and prove it, I'm going to have to see Trinidad Chambliss prove it on a big-time stage against an elite, talented defense like LSU. If he does it, I'll tip my cap, come back here on Monday, I'll say I was wrong. But I'm telling you, he wasn't seeing Harold Perkins and Whit Weeks and Patrick Payton and A.J. Halsey and Mansour Delane. He wasn't seeing them dudes at Ferris State. I know that much for sure. All right, it's after further review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Hey, if you're hitting the road to Oxford, don't buy your beer in Mississippi. We'll give them the tax money. Buy it here in Louisiana before you go. Make sure you get the Bud Light cans and aluminum bottles. the officially licensed 12-ounce cans, 16-ounce bottles, the white can, which is an ode, a hat tip to LSU's white jerseys. They're tradition wearing white at home. Make sure you pick up the delicious refreshment, ice-cold Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Waiting on the Saints' attendance for practice today. When we have that, we'll certainly pass it along to you as well. And the Saints are a gigantic underdog this weekend in Buffalo, as you know. But we have some context on that we'll get to. I want to remind you about Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana, you're never far from a Shawbill's location. If you're in the market for tires, I understand buying tires is not fun. Nobody wants to spend that money on tires. We'd all rather spend it on vacations or tickets, premium tickets to a game or a concert. Nobody wants to buy tires. So that's why Shawbill's understands. They're going to give you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. They'll work together with the manufacturer's offer, their own in-house offer. Remember, you'll always save when you use your Shawbill's credit card, so you can ask about that. Or go to the website, hit the promotions tab at the top, and you'll see all of the specials that they have. shawbillstire.com, shawbillstire.com. When you hit the promotions tab, you can see all the promotions that they have, shawbillstire.com. And, of course, they'll treat you like family. So you need to schedule service. They can take care of anything. Got oil change, tire rotations, brake checks, alignments, all of it. They do it all at Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. shawbillstire.com. Shawbill's. We keep you rolling. All right, quick break. Come back. Talk some Saints, some Houdat, Saints attendance and context on just how big of a dog they are at Buffalo. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I think he's doing a really good job. I really do. You can see his personality and his team and the way they play. First two games in particular, you know, this last game got away from him overall. The first two games, it's a one-possession game. They've got the ball and a chance to win the game. So I think he's off to a great start. Seems to be well prepared for the job.
That's Bills head coach Sean McDermott being very kind about Kellen Moore and his start to his tenure in New Orleans, where the Saints are 0-3, and as he mentioned, this weekend got away from him, but maybe in the first 2 weeks there were some good things to like and to see. I guess when you look at a guy like McDermott, you could look at his time there in Buffalo, but his first season with the Bills was 2017, and they went 9-7 that year and made the playoffs. As a matter of fact, Buffalo's made the playoffs every year that McDermott has been the coach, except for 2018, which was his second season. So he had some immediate success, and typically when you are inheriting a situation as a new head coach, you don't always step into the best situation, but it helps when you get your franchise quarterback. There is just a little piece of dubious history here for the New Orleans Saints as they get set to take on the Buffalo Bills. Of course, the Saints are coming off this blowout loss against Seattle, and they go to Buffalo, and by now you've seen, look, Buffalo might be the best team in the NFL. They're a 16.5 point. Buffalo's a 16.5 point favorite. That is the largest point spread so far this year in the NFL. And it's tied for the 9th largest point spread since the start of the 2020 season. Sometimes, look, COVID was weird because, with the COVID testing, and sometimes you had, like the Saints against the Dolphins, you had like entire rosters that were just unavailable because of COVID tests. But sometimes at the end of seasons, when you get to week like 17 and 18 and teams are either in the playoffs, they're done, you might see teams rest starters, and so you will see inflated point spread sometimes in week like 17 and 18. But this is the largest point spread of the season so far in the NFL. Buffalo's favored by 16.5 against New Orleans. If you're looking for context, those games from the other 8 games from 2020 to now, only one of the underdogs won the game. The Jets beat the Rams in 2020 as a 17-point underdog. 6 of the other 7 underdogs have failed to cover, meaning the team that was the team that was favored by 16.5 or more, the team that was favored won and covered that number. I mean, it was still a blowout, even despite the massive number. Sometimes Vegas just doesn't know how to properly set lines like this when you're talking about teams that are this bad. And unfortunately for New Orleans, that's kind of where they fall right now. By the way, so Pro Football Reference had this little tidbit. This point spread, this 6.5 point spread, with the Saints being a 16.5 point underdog against Buffalo. This is the biggest the Saints have been an underdog since week 9 of the 1975 season. They were a 16.5 point underdog against the Vikings, and they ended up losing 20-7. They were also an 18-point underdog the week prior against the Raiders and lost 48-10. So in consecutive weeks, they were underdogs by 18 and then 16 and a half. That was back in 1975. So it's been 50 years. 50, half a century, 50 years since the New Orleans Saints were this big of an underdog in a football game. And y'all, for a franchise that is historically bad, this is historically bad, which is a mouthful. I mean, sometimes we forget. Like, we just lived through this golden era of Peyton Breeze, but everything outside of that has largely been a steaming pile of dung. The New Orleans Saints are one of the worst franchises in the history of North American professional sports. They were founded in 1967. It took them 20 years to make the playoffs, 1987. That also happened to be the first winning season in 20 years. 2 decades to have a winning season and make the playoffs. They didn't win a playoff game for 33 years. It was the year 2000 when Hakeem dropped the ball. It was a dozen years till they had a non-losing season. They went 8-8 in 1979. By the way, then they followed that up in 1980 with a 1-15 record, which was the worst in the history of the franchise. The Saints have won 5 games or fewer 19 times in the franchise history. I mean, this is historically an historically bad franchise. And now you are the biggest underdog you've been in 50 years. Mickey Loomis should be very proud of what he's built and the product that he's put out on the field. One of the other things that Sean McDermott talked about when he met with reporters was the home field advantage they have there in Buffalo, which has been really impressive.
We take a lot of pride in defending our dirt. There's no other way to really say it. And these guys put a lot of time and blood, sweat, and tears into their jobs every day, their family sacrifice, and playing well at home is a big part of that, is defending what we take a lot of pride in, which is our fan base and how hard we work. And so let's also be honest, our fans create an environment. That 12th man is real, and we'll need them again this week. This offense we're going to play runs a lot of no huddle, and I just watched them try and get that done against Seattle, and I know our fans are the best in the NFL for a reason.
All right, that's Sean McDermott as the Saints head up to Buffalo to take on maybe the best team in the NFL in the Bills in what's going to be a brutal environment for New Orleans to try to go get the first win of the season. Should the Saints try to reunite with Chauncey Garner-Johnson? I have some thoughts on that. I'll tell you in just a second. Let me remind you about Arco Power Systems. Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco Power Systems. That's arco.com. When we talk about Arco, we're talking about protecting your business with standby generator power. This is Generac Industrial Power. These are industrial generators. This is not for your home. This is for your business. These are for grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities. It doesn't matter if you have a retail shop, if you're an apartment complex. If you need an option when the power goes out so your business can stay online, Arco Power Systems provides that. Home base is right here in Baton Rouge on Airline Highway, but it's so impressive how much they've grown. They serve as far west as San Antonio, as far east as Mobile, office coming in Little Rock, office in Dallas, Houston, everywhere. So if you own a business, no matter where you're listening or watching in that footprint, you own a business and you need backup generator power, either a permanent solution installed, standby rental options, or servicing your standby generator, you want Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. All right, it's after further review. Surprised to see this. Surprised, to say the very least. The Houston Texans traded a former first-round pick, Kenyon Green, their left guard, to the Philadelphia Eagles back in March for C.J. Garner-Johnson. Remember, Garner-Johnson was a ball hawk for Philadelphia on their run to the Super Bowl. After Garner-Johnson was in New Orleans, went to Detroit, then to Philly, and was a big part of their Super Bowl run. Well, on Tuesday, the Houston Texans released C.J. Garner-Johnson 3 games into the season. Houston trades a former first-round pick, Kenyon Green, a left guard, to Philly in March for C.J. Garner-Johnson. And my goodness, 3 games in, they're cutting bait. Now, listen, I don't cover the Texans on a day-to-day basis. I don't really care what's going on in Houston. What I know is they're 0-3, and apparently C.J. Garner-Johnson struggled to pick up some of DeMeco Ryans' system. They've had busts. He has been responsible for busts in all 3 games that have led to touchdowns, and what's really rubbed a lot of teammates wrong, apparently, is that he's been finger-pointing instead of taking ownership for his mistakes. And so 3 games into this season, the Texans say, no Moss, cut bait, get him out of here. Ian Rappaport was on the Insiders on the NFL Network and gave a little insight here.
They released C.J. Garner-Johnson. Remember, they traded for him from the Philadelphia Eagles in kind of a complicated trade, pick swap early in the year, hoped he would hold down the back end of the defense. Best thing I can say, Tom, this relationship ran its course as it always seems to with C.J. GJ. The Texans moved on earlier today.
I mean, to say the relationship has run its course after 3 games is astonishing. And I know I've been hit a little bit today with Saints fans asking, should New Orleans pursue Chauncey Garner-Johnson and bring him back to the Saints? In a simple, plain, as plainly as I can put this, no. Absolutely not. Now listen, I loved the Chauncey Garner-Johnson draft pick when the Saints took him out of Florida. And we talked about it then, and I've repeated it so many times throughout his NFL career. Chauncey Garner-Johnson is the guy that you hate when he's on the other team and you love when he's on your team. I mean, he once pissed off Michael Thomas so much that Thomas slugged him at practice. Now, Thomas is also a jerk, but he was still incited. That's what Chauncey Garner-Johnson is. He's a gnat. He's a nuisance. And he gets under people's skin. You love it when he's on your team, unless and until things are going badly and it becomes a negative thing internally, which clearly that's what was happening in Houston, and they said enough. DeMeco Ryans is valuing culture in his locker room more than what could be a good player, even one that they traded a valuable asset for just a few months ago. They recognized it was going badly. They cut bait. Okay. When I look at New Orleans, this is very simple. Now, Chauncey Garner-Johnson, right, he was released. So he's a free agent. He's free to sign with whoever he wants. First of all, ain't no way in hell he's signing with the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 0-3, and they're going nowhere fast. That's a guy that just played in Philly for a Super Bowl. The Eagles would be stupid not to re-sign him. They win. They have good culture. He fit in there last year, was a really good player, knows their defense. Everybody knows the story. The Eagles should be the most obvious choice here. But I also understand why, if you're a Saints fan, you're asking the questions, because this is a guy you drafted. But this is also a guy that you chose to ship away, despite the value you got in a day 2 pick who became a starter for you. A day 3 pick who became a starter for you, and a very good one. And right now, the reality is Chauncey Garner-Johnson on the New Orleans Saints doesn't affect your win total one lick. You don't win one more game with Chauncey Garner-Johnson than you would without him. So I have to ask the question, am I more interested in seeing a young guy like Jonas Sanker get reps and continue to develop, or bringing in Chauncey Garner-Johnson, who might make you a little bit better on the back end, but not really going to affect your win total? Give me Jonas Sanker. And maybe more importantly even than that is culture. You got a rookie head coach who's 37 years old, who's struggling out the gate. They just had an embarrassing loss. You have blowhards like me yelling about him, whether or not these guys actually respect him. I believe they like him. I don't know if they respect him. That remains to be seen, especially considering all the undisciplined play that continues to persist and they can't seem to fix it. That calls that into question for me. And I'm sure a lot of other people as well. Do you really want to introduce Chauncey Garner-Johnson, that element, that variable, into your locker room where he may do the same things in New Orleans that clearly he was doing in Houston that had them pissed off during an 0-3 start, that caused them to cut him, despite the fact that they sent a former first-round pick to Philly to get him back in March? No. No. If this was a situation where New Orleans was a contender and you felt like, man, that's the one little missing piece, you really need someone who can get you some turnovers in the secondary, I'd go in a heartbeat. I'll take the risk because you got good veteran players, good culture. You don't have that. You don't have established culture within the organization right now under Kellen Moore. You're not a good team. You're not competing for anything of significance. I'd rather see a young guy like Sanker get those reps. I understand asking the question because if you're doing your job, meaning the front office, you should ask that question about every player at every position. Can that person make my team better? But that is a layered, nuanced question for the New Orleans Saints right now. And the answer with Chauncey Garner-Johnson is absolutely, positively, undeniably a big fat no. That ship has sailed, and if he's smart, he'll end up back in Philadelphia. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break and go around the SEC. It's AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions. That's where you find them at Glow Resources, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. You see, at Glow Resources, they do one thing. They help you find the people, permanent solutions in your business to make you more efficient. If in this hiring market, which has been really a struggle for so many businesses post-COVID, if you're in that challenge space, let Glow Resources help. Call Glow Resources, log on to the website. They use their giant network to find you the best people for whatever job you have available. This is not a temp staffing agency. They're helping you find permanent employee solutions. It doesn't matter where your business is or where you do business. Glow Resources can help. So check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Invited you to join us for Friday's AFR from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers, because everything looks better when it's lit. We'll see you Friday, 3 to 6 from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Miss wins this game, it should be undefeated heading into back-to-back games against Georgia and Oklahoma. These are the 3 most difficult games. They could go 2-1 against those opponents. They should be in the college football playoff. For LSU, they need this because that win against Clemson is not looking so great anymore.
It's Heather Dinich on Get Up earlier today. It's interesting. I've done quite a bit of media this week with some Ole Miss folks. Buddy Neil McCready, I was on his podcast. That's live right now. I think I tweeted the link out earlier. Recorded the crossover episode with Stephen Willis from Locked On Ole Miss earlier today. It'll publish tomorrow. By the way, thanks to everybody who has watched, listened to Locked On LSU. Pretty incredible. If you're not familiar, Locked On LSU, it's a daily LSU podcast that I do, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. And last month, Locked On LSU, for the first time since I took the podcast over last June, we were number 1 in the college network, and I think number 4 or 5 overall in the entire Locked On network across all sports. So a baseball national championship followed up by pretty exciting football start to the season, and win over Clemson certainly will buoy you. So thanks to everybody who listens to or watches Locked On LSU. But I recorded with Stephen Willis from Locked On Ole Miss earlier today for our crossover episode, and they are the narrative there at Ole Miss is if they win this game against LSU, they think Ole Miss is a playoff. The schedule shapes up for them to be a playoff team. I could see that. Certainly, because after LSU, they get an open date, then Washington State in Oxford. So they should win that game, right? So if they beat LSU, they'd be 5-0. They beat Washington State, most likely they're 6-0. But then you have back-to-back road conference games against Georgia, Oklahoma. Okay. Even if you lose those 2, now you're 6-2, and the final 4 in November are South Carolina, Citadel, Florida at Mississippi State. Now, they would likely be favored in all of those games, but I'd like to remind you that this is an Ole Miss team coached by Lane Kiffin, who a year ago, with arguably the most talented roster in college football, right there with Ohio State, lost to Kentucky, which was their only league win, lost at LSU, a game they had no business losing, and then lost at Florida because Lane Kiffin lost his brain and 3 times in the red zone decided to hand the ball to a fat defensive lineman on 4th down plays instead of kicking field goals, which would have won him the game. I don't believe that Lane Kiffin's getting out of this unscathed. By the way, I also don't think Ole Miss is winning on Saturday. I think LSU is going to win and win comfortably on Saturday. So this conversation is going to be moot. I think Ole Miss is going to lose to LSU. I think they're going to lose at Georgia, at Oklahoma, provided John Mateer's back. And they'll probably drop one of those down the stretch as well. Don't think Florida's not going to rise up and beat somebody. They got enough talent on that team to beat somebody. It might well beat Ole Miss. Anyway, that's just file that away. That's the narrative there, is they feel like they beat LSU. They're going to be a playoff team no matter what. Jordan Rogers also was on Get Up. He will not be on the call this weekend. It'll be Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath again, which, by the way, you know, I get the email from ESPN with, I get the email from ESPN with all the announcer assignments. And so I tweeted out on Monday who's going to be on the call for the LSU games. And the reaction, like the vitriol from LSU fans about that booth really surprises me. Like, I get McElroy was a Bama guy, so a lot of people don't like him for that reason. But give me Sean McDonough over any other play-by-play man on ABC ESPN. Like, Joe Tessitore is a puke fest. Who else am I missing? Fowler, Fowler's the greatest game day host. Like, he's perfect for that job. He's not a great play-by-play man. I love Chris Fowler. I just don't think he's great at play-by-play. McDonough's awesome. And McElroy's actually a really good analyst as well. And Molly McGrath's fantastic. Like, I think that's, please give me that. What I would love to see is Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kublik on every broadcast. But sans that, give me McDonough, McElroy, and Molly McGrath. The 3 M's. McDonough, McElroy. How about that? 3 M's. Give me that. How about that? Anyway, here was Jordan Rogers on what he's watching for LSU Ole Miss.
Yeah, don't sleep on Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss. He started the season as the backup. He was a D2 quarterback last year, took them to the national championship. Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator, found him on Twitter, literally scrolling on Twitter, found him. Now he has 400 yards in back-to-back games. He's incredibly dual threat. He's an incredible athlete. Watch the matchup with Harold Perkins and LSU on the other side. This is an opportunistic defense, is playing man coverage at a high level. Turnovers for Chambliss is going to be the difference. I think LSU gets it done.
Glad to hear Jordan say that. I was listening to Hester and Flynn this morning. They said point blank, look, you're either going to have Perkins or Weeks spying Chambliss at all times. You have lockdown corners on the outside, and they don't have a dynamic receiver like they did a year ago in Trey Harris. And their running game isn't dynamic either, and you've got a great defensive front seven. I just don't see it. I know Ole Miss is favored. I don't see it. There's something glaring that I'm missing. And I think that this is odds makers and other people just not catching up yet on how good LSU's defense is. And so I keep telling you, take the under in all these games. They just have not adjusted accordingly and appropriately for how good the LSU defense is. You go to Oxford and you put Lane Kiffin's offense in a chokehold, I think that starts to change. All right, it's after further review. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Florida Gators.
Billy Napier has addressed DJ Lagway's latest injury and has shut down speculation that Lagway might opt out. Said he got stepped on during the game. They put a boot on him, no issue. He practiced. He's 100%, all that good stuff. So when Napier was asked about Lagway potentially opting out, he said, quote, "It's comical. The kid has been back in here since Sunday working his butt off." So Lagway, apparently for now, healthy and not going anywhere.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Jamarian Latham suffered a neck injury in practice. He was evaluated at a hospital in Birmingham after practice on Tuesday. Kalen DeBoer said in a statement that Latham had full feeling and motion in his extremities, which is great news. Latham's a 6-year senior from the state of Alabama. He started the opener against Florida State and then left because of a lower body injury then and didn't play against ULM or Wisconsin. So we'll give you updates on that as we have it.
The Auburn Tigers.
Wide receiver Horatio Fields broke his foot in practice. Hugh Freeze made the announcement on the teleconference. He will be out indefinitely after having foot surgery. He's a Wake Forest transfer, 12 catches for 106 yards and a score this year. In his absence, apparently Hugh Freeze said they'll look to sophomore Perry Thompson to step up. Auburn is at Texas A&M this week.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas lost 2026 tight end commitment Javion Martin, 6'4", 250-pounder. Committed to Arkansas back in May, but he has reopened his commitment. He's a 3-star out of the state of Texas.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
And on the hardwood, 4-star point guard Anthony Brown out of D.C. has committed to Vandy, 6'1", 160. Picked the Commodores over Maryland, Virginia, Villanova, Mississippi State, and others. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters as well. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all, but as Brandon will tell you all the time, their number one product is customer satisfaction. They just will not stop until you are thrilled. They will not leave until the job is done right and you are thrilled. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Have a conversation with anyone within that organization, and you will understand the expectation, the standard that Brandon Holly has set. Because Brandon says, look, it's not just about selling windows. That company is about his reputation. It's about doing right by people, and that matters. That's integrity. That's ethics. That's what they have there at Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. Now, let me knock out a quick break. Saints are off the practice field today. Just real quickly, in a dozen minutes, about 13 minutes after SportsCenter, we're going to get to a reaction to the SEC opponent schedule coming out. Saints are off the practice field. I got a Chase Young update. We'll give it to you next on AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. I just want to remind you about all the many different services that they offer at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Yes, they do ED treatments. Not just pills. They have many different treatments. So if you've tried something that hasn't worked, try something else. They've got options at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Hormone replacement therapy. As we age, every one of us, men, women, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. You can safely, affordably supplement to get to healthy levels. You want to feel like you did when you were younger? Hormone replacement therapy could be the option. They also have other non-pharmaceutical options to help with so many different things like anxiety or libido or muscle growth or recovery from tissue repair from tissue injuries or surgeries. Learn more about how you can live your best life. YourGoodWood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Saints are off the practice field here on this Wednesday as they begin their preparation for their trip to Buffalo to take on the Bills. And unfortunately, it's not great news for the New Orleans Saints. Chase Young was absent again here to start practice here starting week 4. Remember, Tuesday's an off day in the NFL, so Wednesday today was the first practice day. We'll get the official injury report later. But, again, if you're not present, then clearly you didn't practice. So he'll be a DNP today as he continues to recover from this calf injury. You know, I can't help but think of two things, how this has all kind of played out. You know, after the initial injury, you know, I know it was Nick Underhill who tweeted that Young had passed by in the locker room and was very boisterous, insisting that this was not a serious deal. Well, you've missed 3 games, and now it looks like you're going into this week with that very much in question. That's one piece of this is how forthcoming was Chase Young then. I don't know, and I'm not trying to insinuate that he was lying or not being truthful. I believe that every competitor wants to be on the field, so please don't misunderstand me as I say that. But I think there's also a responsibility you have to be truthful and forthcoming. And maybe he truly believed that he was going to be close to returning. But the other side of it is, as for the New Orleans Saints, there has to be an understanding of the health and opportunity these players have, because it's why you have the short-term IR designation. You could have put Chase Young on short-term IR and added another player to your active roster without having to cut him. Like you could have added someone to your roster essentially penalty-free for the first 4 weeks. You know, if Chase Young misses the game against Buffalo on Sunday, then you will look back in hindsight and say the Saints screwed this up, because you would have had an opportunity to put Chase Young on short-term IR, add someone to the roster for these 4 weeks, and then when Chase Young was healthy, get him back on the field. So this is shaping up to be a really big miss. Now, hopefully he gets healthier as they move throughout the week, and he's able to play this weekend, but that still remains to be seen. You can read that full report over at LouisianaSports.net. Again, everything always free over at LouisianaSports.net. We'll have the official injury report later, but Ross Jackson did note that the 4 players that did not practice, Chase Young, Dylan Radins, Hunter Deckers, and Cedric Wilson. He also notes that Taliesin Fuaga and Trey Palmer returned to practice, which was good to see. And Devon Vele was there for stretch, but didn't participate in individual drills. Again, we'll wait for the full injury report to see where things stand with all those guys. We'll get you an update a little bit later in the show when we had their official injury designations. All right, let's react to the SEC schedule, which was released on Wednesday night.
AFR.
Nope, it was released on Tuesday night because today's Wednesday, and it was yesterday, last night. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, and look, we're getting close, right? It's September the 24th. A lot of you out there might be thinking, there's romanticizing out there, thinking of popping the question around the holiday season, right? Well, this is about the time you're going to start your search. You're going to start looking at rings, learning about different cuts of diamonds, clarity, size, all that sort of stuff. If you have those questions, go to Lee Michaels. Their friendly staff will help. No matter your budget, you'll always get the Lee Michaels experience. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Start online, lmfj.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona, inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers, because everything looks better when it's lit. We'll see you Friday, 3 to 6 from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Rookie Jackson Dart will not only be the Giants' starting quarterback on Sunday against the Chargers, but for the rest of the NFL season as well. That today from Coach Brian Daboll. Daboll, though, didn't provide an explanation why he benched Russell Wilson for Dart, other than saying it was his decision. A couple of things have stood out to the Giants about Dart, notes ESPN Giants reporter Jordan Renan.
The way that he's been able to retain and take in information and sort of learn the NFL playbook and what goes into being an NFL quarterback. He's shown them that he has the skills and the physical ability to add something to their offense that they don't have currently.
Jordan Renan on Unsportsmanlike. Eagles outside linebacker Nolan Smith Jr. expected to be out through the team's November 2nd bye due to strained triceps. Baseball, Padres, Brewers, no score, top three. Milwaukee's magic number to clinch the top record in baseball and home field advantage throughout the playoffs is 2 on the Phillies. Milwaukee's a game and a half back of the NL West leading Dodgers and a game and a half back of the Cubs for the top NL wildcard spot.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Thursday. I know we only focus on Caleb Williams, but is it time for us to start worrying about Michael Penix Jr. too? It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt. Shut up, kid. It's really low. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. We'll head to Buffalo. Matt Parino covers the Buffalo Bills. He'll be here in 13 minutes from right now. Russ Mitchell in hour number 3. On Tuesday night, the SEC did the opponent reveal. So we had already known on 3, I guess someone within the SEC office leaked to Chris Lowe at on 3, the permanent opponents, or as they're calling them, the annual rivals. So we knew LSU was going to play Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Arkansas. What we didn't know were the other 6 opponents. We know them now. Brian Kelly on the teleconference here on Wednesday gave his reaction to the schedule release.
My initial feeling on this, and keep in mind, we've had these conversations now for over a year, but from the very beginning, this was about everybody playing everybody within a 4-year period at home and away. And for me, yeah, I get it. You're going to pull some of those natural rivalries, but you're not losing them for a long period of time, quite frankly. And so I'm excited about the schedule. It's going to be a challenge, right? 9 games. Now we're going to add another, power 4 to that. So now you've got 10. But I think they managed this and put this in a spot that allows you to play everybody home and away. And I think that's pretty exciting.
I love it. I think if you have looked at the grid and what schedules are going to look like, just adding one more conference game, the density that adds to literally every schedule across the league, it pops, right? And that's what you want. It's what I've been yelling about forever. I'm sick of the FCS and the G5 games or G6 games. Give me all Power 5, all Power 4, whatever you want to call it now. Give me games people want to see. And I know for some, they're going to look at this and go, man, that's brutal. You need the breather. You need the opening. You're going to have another loss. And yes, you are literally guaranteeing half of your league another loss, but you're going to see an expanded playoff to 16. And so the days of teams going undefeated are probably going to be few and far between. And you may say, well, that's not a good thing. I'll flatly disagree. Because right now, if you're going undefeated, it's masked because you're playing at least 3 garbage games. You got an FCS team and two teams that you're just paying. Here's a paycheck to come get your ass kicked. Like, where's the honor in that? Where's the validity in your undefeated season? You know what I want to see? I want to see great games every Saturday. I don't want to wake up on a Saturday with a weekend slate like we had this past weekend in the SEC, which was hot garbage. I don't want to come a week before Thanksgiving and see a bunch of FCS teams rolling into SEC stadiums. I don't want to see that ever again. Let me wake up every Saturday knowing we're going to have meat on the bone and a great college football weekend. And I understand that it's not going to be that way unanimously until everyone agrees. Nobody's just going to choose to schedule 12 Power 5 games or Power 4 games. It's going to have to be something where there's unanimity. Everyone decides to do the same thing, and we're getting closer to that. We're at 9 league games plus a 10th, Power 4 game, expanded playoff, and we're going to keep going in that direction because all the powers that be have realized, yeah, they can make more money doing that. I'm very, very, very excited for this. A few things. One of the other criticisms, I know mathing is hard. Somebody on Twitter, I'm trying not to call him out, but I may have to call him out just so I could, just literally so I could do this. His name is Randy. Randy said, the 4 home games one year, the 5 next. Not so happy about that one. To which I replied, Randy, with 9 league games, that's going to happen for literally every team. I mean, literally all of them. You have 9 league games. It's an uneven number. So you're going to alternate. And to the argument that that's going to hurt financially, no, it's not. Because you're never going to have fewer home games than you have presently, right? You currently have 4 league home games every year. Now, you're never going below 4, but every other year, you'll have 5. You'll have an extra one. So that'll be a financial boon. So you're not hurting your budget. You're adding to it every other year, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. In any event, the other thing, too, this is also math, but you were going to have, every team was going to have a situation where they went back-to-back years, visiting someone in back-to-back years, having the same team come to them. For LSU, that happens to be Texas A&M and Ole Miss. So next year, LSU is going back to Ole Miss. Next year, Texas A&M is coming back to Baton Rouge. I'll remind you, this happened in 2001. In 2001, LSU played Kentucky in Lexington. Won a great game. Rohan threw a game-winning touchdown pass late to Michael Clayton. The next year, they went to 12 games, and LSU went back to Kentucky, Bluegrass Miracle. So they went to Kentucky back-to-back years. Ole Miss came to Baton Rouge back-to-back years. 2001, Eli, as a sophomore, led a fourth-quarter comeback against LSU, which was devastating. And then in 2002, they came back to Baton Rouge, and LSU beat them. So that happened then. It'll happen again this year. It's okay. It's just, again, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Now, as far as the teams that LSU is going to play again, we know the three. Yesterday, before we got out of here, I gave you my best guess. I didn't know. Nobody told me anything. I gave you my best guesses to the other 6 outside of Ole Miss, A&M, Arkansas. Can we go one by one with them? Hit it. Texas has got to come to Baton Rouge. Okay. Hit that one. What? All right, it's okay. Just play through. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Why
Remember, LSU had a home-and-home schedule with Texas in 2019 and 2020.
How long is this?
You all remember this. LSU made the...
44 seconds.
Okay, don't worry about me. Just take a breath, sit back. I got it. So, took a stab at him yesterday. Said I think they'd play Texas because Texas hadn't made the return trip from the 2019-2020 situation, where, of course, COVID happened. LSU never got the return trip. Texas comes into the league. It was very obvious to me that they were going to end up playing Texas the first chance they had. So, Texas is coming to Baton Rouge. I figured Florida, Bama were the two that people were most upset about losing. Premier opponents that had been on LSU schedule annually for more than 50 years. They were going to play one or the other. I guessed Bama, just so they keep that going. Bama would make the return trip. That's happening as well. The two traditional rivals that LSU has always played that they missed the last 2 years, State and Auburn, I figured would certainly rotate back on, and they did. State will come to Baton Rouge. LSU will go to Auburn. And that left 4 more teams, of which LSU was going to play 2. And I figured you probably weren't going to front load it. So Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri were the 4, and my guesses were Kentucky, Missouri. In the end, it ended up being Missouri, Tennessee. So the one that I got wrong was Kentucky when it'll actually be Tennessee. So for 2026, LSU's 2026 schedule at home, remember, you're also going to face Clemson at home. So you have a delicious home schedule next year. Clemson, Alabama, Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State. That's going to be awesome. And then you're also, I told you I had a conversation with Verge Osbury. There's a really good probability that Louisiana Tech comes back again next year, and you've got McNeese on the schedule as well. So that's likely going to be your home schedule. And then the road schedule will be Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. So obviously Ole Miss, Auburn, Tennessee stand out there with Kentucky and Arkansas as well. So a challenging schedule, but not nearly as challenging as Auburn. Oh my God. Did you see what Auburn landed? Auburn for 2026. Like, whoever you cheer for, just be glad it's not Auburn, unless if you cheer for Auburn. Auburn's 2026 football opponents, this is heinous. They're going to play at Bama, at Georgia, at Ole Miss, at A&M, at Tennessee, 5 road games, and their home games are LSU, Florida, Arkansas, Vanderbilt. Good luck to Hugh Freeze or whoever is coaching Auburn next year, because that is hellacious. I can tell you this much. I ain't picking Auburn to finish in the top half of the league next year. That's brutal. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. New or certified pre-owned. If you want to vote a Volkswagen, of course, nobody has a better selection at better prices than South Point Volkswagen. But maybe you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle. Yeah, they got certified pre-owned Volkswagens, but all different makes and models. Because they move so much new inventory, they get a great selection of pre-owns of all different makes and models. So if you're shopping, shop the pre-owned lots, but make sure that you shop South Point Volkswagen as well. southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. When you go to the website, there's a new and used car tab. Hit it, you'll see every vehicle that's on the lot right there at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it's after further review. Glad you're with us. Russ Mitchell in 1 hour from right now. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Saints hit the road to Buffalo. They're a 16.5-point underdog. We'll find out more about what might be the best team in the NFL next. And Matt Parino joins us here on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Remember the Renaissance Hotel, which is Baton Rouge and LSU's home away from home in Baton Rouge when they're at home Friday before every home game. The Tigers move it on in to Renaissance Baton Rouge. But that's just one piece of the story for Renaissance Baton Rouge. Of course, Tallulah, the restaurant there inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge, a chef-inspired menu, which is not a hotel restaurant. Like, this is a casual upscale dining experience inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge. Beautiful bar area with indoor-outdoor flow with what they call the terrace, which has the semicircle with the fire features in the fountain. So even though you're right there on Bluebonnet, Baton Rouge, you feel like you've escaped the city for a few brief moments when you enjoy a great meal, appetizers, wine, cocktail, great whiskey selection as well. It's Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge. And of course, if you've got an event coming up, no better place to have it than right there on Bluebonnet at Renaissance Baton Rouge.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6th.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We're going to head up to Buffalo. Matt Parino covers the Bills in just a quick second. Remember, you can always text the show in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Landon sent a text. He said, Matt, serious question. How can you be excited about the new 9-game schedule when it's a recipe for 8-4, 9-3, and no playoffs? When multiple Big Ten teams will play 2 ranked teams, lose both, still get in. Multiple SEC teams will go 9-3, multiple ranked wins, and still get left out. So, Landon, I understand your angst. what you and people who think like you are going to have to do is reframe your mindset. You are thinking in terms of maybe a 4-team playoff like it was, or what we currently saw 1 year into the 12-team playoff era. We are going to go to a 16-team playoff. And I know a lot of people bemoan that. My point is, I would rather see a schedule full of really good games that we all want to see and have an expanded playoff with really good teams who play tough schedules and earn their way into it like every other sport in the history of mankind, as opposed to having a bunch of dopes in a hotel ballroom try to guess about an 11-1 Indiana who played one ranked team and lost. To your point, you're going to have more opportunity as a result of an expanded playoff. And by the way, now everybody is going to play an expanded schedule. You finally have uniformity, which is a good thing, like every other sports league in the history of mankind. We'll get back to that in a little bit. Let's head to Buffalo.
Who dat say they're going to beat them Saints? Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Matt Parino joins us, Syracuse.com, also the host of Shout, the Buffalo football podcast. Matt, how are you, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'd be doing a lot better if the Saints didn't suck. How good is this Bills team?
I mean, through 3 weeks, I'd argue that they're the best team in the NFL. And it comes down to, I think, number one, having the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And there's a lot that goes into that, right? There's a couple of guys that I think you make an argument for. Lamar Jackson is elite. Patrick Mahomes, the history, the playoff performances. But what Josh Allen is doing right now in the way that he's taking care of the football, the way that he's able to be so in tune with what his team needs within every given game. He can go out there and put the cape on against the Baltimore Ravens and lead this epic comeback to start the season, and then he can go into kind of autopilot mode and work in the short game the next 2 weeks and rely on this really good running game. They're up front offensively. This has been probably an underreported story nationally the last couple of seasons. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league, and that has turned James Cook into one of the biggest weapons in the NFL. I mean, he's got 4 touchdowns this year after 16 a year ago to lead the league, tie with Derrick Henry. He's on pace to go over 20 this season already if he could stay healthy. The Bills rewarded him with a nice contract this offseason. Are there some question marks on defense? Certainly. Likely Ed Oliver and Matt Milano won't play again this week against the Saints. Young guys are going to have to be asked to step up. But offensively for the Bills is where it starts, and nobody's been able to figure out the puzzle.
Okay, well, let's sort of piece together the rest of that puzzle. I'm trying to think of a way to ask about Josh Allen's effectiveness and honestly his greatness. I mean, he's an MVP. Certainly, if you were to remove Josh Allen, they would take a massive step back. That goes without saying. But how much of all the functionality of what you just talked about with the running game, the underrated offensive line, the wide receivers, all that stuff, is really a product of just him being maybe the best player in the NFL?
I think that's if they were to take him off this team, I don't think that they'd be a playoff team. Like the offensive line is great, and I think that they could still figure out ways to run the ball and get guys involved. But if you look at this wide receiving crew, and I throw the tight ends into that mix because he throws to Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox quite a bit, it leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, Keon Coleman is arguably their number one wide receiver, and this is a guy that a lot of people believe is miscast in this offense as an X-receiver and should be playing more as a big slot, which the Bills don't do with him at all. They bring in Joshua Palmer, who's kind of, had a good run with the Chargers, and they were hoping was going to unlock their passing game a little bit. He hasn't really broken out in this offense yet. Khalil Shakir, very underappreciated slot receiver in the NFL. I think he's about as good as it gets there. Second in the league behind only Jamar Chase last year in yards after the catch. But, beyond that, Dalton Kincaid, a lot of people in the fan base have talked going into this season about him potentially being a bust. Now, he started this season really well, and I think that Josh Allen has been very much urgent about getting him involved He's second on the team in targets. I think they're trying to make him a thing. But if you poll people around the league, and conversations I had all offseason with people around the league, this is the Josh Allen show, and it would fall off quite a bit if he's not running it.
Matt Parino's with us. Get him on Twitter at Matt Parino, Syracuse.com, and shout the Buffalo Football Podcast. Good week to subscribe if you want info on the Bills with the Saints heading up there to upstate New York. By the way, this may be the most relevant question. What's the weather like?
The weather is perfect right now, honestly. I mean, it called for rain this week, but I've been looking at the weather app because my son plays Little League Baseball, and we got some games, some fall ball games this weekend.
Okay.
It is going to be 77 and sunny on Sunday for this game, so no weather.
Oh, man. I didn't think there would be. I'm just kind of envious. It's 88 and raining right now in Louisiana. So I'm just a little envious, but I won't be envious at all in December when you all are freezing your T-Heinies off and it's like, 77 here. That'll be great. I'll just be walking around with like a light T-shirt on. That'll be awesome. Okay, you mentioned some of the defensive absences at Oliver. How does that affect what Buffalo wants to do defensively?
It affects a lot because it really ratchets up the expectations for their rookies, Deion Walker and TJ Sanders. Walker, especially the fourth-round pick, has been the one that's really popped the first few weeks of the season. Had a play against Tua on the interception last week against the Dolphins in the fourth quarter late, where he beats his block right away and gets right into his face, hands up. Tua gets rid of the ball, tries to throw it over him. Terrell Bernard steps in, intercepts it, and the Bills go on to win. That's a huge play for a kid that, if you go back to 2023 when he was at Kentucky, a lot of people thought the season that he had would position him as maybe a first-round pick. Didn't go his way in 2024. There were questions about a back injury. The Bills did their homework. Brandon Beane was able to nab him in the fourth round. He's been really good. But not having Ed Oliver, a guy that they asked to play 80 to 90% of the snaps, be their pass rusher, be their top-graded, according to PFF, run stopper, you miss that presence. And, coming on this week, that's the one area of this defense that you could really say has been bad through 3 weeks, and that's their inability to contain the running game. And I look at Alvin Kamara. I know he's only averaging 3.7 coming in, but that's definitely something that's going to be a point of emphasis this week. And without Matt Milano on the second level, it puts a lot of pressure on Dorian Williams, the third-year linebacker. You'll see a lot of him. And then the secondary play hasn't been great. So it's a game where I think if you're a Bills fan, you're hoping that this defense can get right in a lot of ways. It looked really good against the Jets in week 2, and I think the reason why is, Justin Fields really struggled in the passing game, and it completely took their run game out. And I think that's the game plan this weekend is force Spencer Rattler to make mistakes. I know he's only thrown one interception, but Sean McDermott's defense over his tenure in Buffalo has been brutal on not only young quarterbacks, but young quarterbacks that are playing this defense for the first time.
Rattler's thrown a couple more that got negated by penalty. It's look, we can break down this game, Matt, but I think we all know what's going to happen in a 16.5-point line in the NFL. Let me play devil's advocate on the Bills. I don't believe this, but let me just play a devil's advocate for you if I could. Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. The Ravens win the opener. And then the 2 wins for the Bills are against the Jets and Dolphins, 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. And now they get the Saints. And then the Patriots. And then the Panthers. Do we really know how good this team is?
That's a good question. I think that they're really good. I will say today, the update on their rookie cornerback, Maxwell Hairston, wasn't probably what Bills fans were hoping for. Suffered a knee strain in training camp, started the year on injured reserve. And, the cornerback play, even with Christian Benford, who they gave that big extension to this offseason, it hasn't been good in coverage even. I mean, we talk about the run game. Like, they've given up some stats to Lamar and then Tua last week. And that, to me, is the piece. Like, if the Bills can't play from ahead, sure, they showed in week 1 that they can come back. But, they had to play from behind against the Chiefs in the playoffs last year, and in the end, they didn't have enough. And they didn't go out and add any game-changing weapons on offense. This is pretty much the same offense as last year, except Amari Cooper and Mac Hollins out and Elijah Moore and Joshua Palmer in. And I don't know if there's a guy on this offense not named Josh Allen and now James Cook that teams are scheming against, especially like the elite teams, like the Eagles, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Ravens. So I think it's a valid question. I think that, we won't really truly have a good feel on how good this team can be until they get some of the heavyweight fights later in the season. And even that, the Bills have a crazy easy schedule. Like it was already, but now with Joe Burrow probably out for the season, you're talking about like heavyweight fights. It's the Chiefs and it's the Eagles, and they already have one with the Ravens in the rear view.
Yeah. By the way, Matt, I don't believe at all that the Bills are questionable. I think they're awesome and should very well be the favorite in the AFC. I was just asking the question for the sake of conversation because talking about the Saints is not really very interesting. How about how important is Reed Ferguson going to be this week?
Really important. I mean, that's to me where you have a game like this get real funky is if you have like a turnover on special teams, if he like fires one over the head of the Bills' new punter that they signed after they cut Cam Johnston. They signed him, 33-year-old veteran, after cutting Brad Robbins after his pitiful Week 1 performance. So all eyes on Reed Ferguson this week in Orchard Park.
I respect so much Matt being a pro and just taking that in stride and trying to give me a legitimate answer. I just wanted to ask you about the LSU guy. I love Reed. He's also a Yankee fan and a whiskey guy. So I think the world of Reed. So I just wanted to work in a Reed Ferguson question. That's all. He's on Twitter at Matt Parino. Make sure you check out Shout, the Buffalo Football Podcast. Read his stuff at Syracuse.com. Before you go, this is going to feel like, look, Buffalo just does what it does. It'll take care of business and win this game. But what do you think Buffalo would like to accomplish in this game on Sunday?
I think defensively to really be able to handle Alvin Kamara. There's still a sense of what he's been in this league for a long time, and I think that they're going to say the right things, and even I know it's not Derrick Henry in that high-powered offense from Week 1, but being able to maybe limit Alvin Kamara's impact in this game is something that the Bills want to continue answering that question. Next week, you mentioned it's the Patriots, and then it's the Panthers and the Falcons. I mean, none of them really have an elite-level running game, and I know Atlanta probably should be even better than they are with Bijan Robinson, but you're not really going to necessarily answer that question. Kamara might be the best running back they face from weeks 2 through week 9 when they play the Chiefs. So I think that's at the being better on third down. They gave up a ton of third and long. That's been an emphasis for Sean McDermott this week. It wasn't good enough against the Miami Dolphins, and that's going to be where they look to be better this week.
I'll tell Kyle Williams you said hello. Buffalo legend.
Oh, one of my faves, man. I love Kyle.
He's great. We're glad to have him back in Baton Rouge. Matt, good stuff, man. Thank you for the time.
No problem. Take care.
Be well. Matt Parino. At Matt Parino, P-A-R-I. Wait. Hang on. P-A-R-R-I-N-O. Listen, I get it. Moscona, you don't think I get it? P-A-R-R-I-N-O. At Matt Parino. And Syracuse.com. And Shout, the Buffalo Football Podcast. Good stuff, man. I appreciate that. It's just candidly very tough to try to have a conversation about the competitive nature of this game because nobody thinks it's going to be. Buffalo's maybe the best team in the NFL, and the Saints are maybe the worst team in the NFL. So what did both teams look to accomplish this weekend was probably the more interesting thing than actually what might decide the game. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. If you want to learn more about that Championship Health Partnership, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. What I want you to really hone in on and understand is when you think about Our Lady of the Lake, I want you to think about their synergies with LSU. They are the Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics. When you need medical care, the same doctors, physicians, the same outstanding health system that cares for the world-class athletes at LSU and the LSU student body are the ones that care for you and me. I've told you even well before I started doing the reads for Our Lady of the Lake, my family is, we've certainly been cared for plenty at the lake. From my GP, Dr. Curtis Chastain, Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group. Drew sees specialists over at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, which is an incredible resource in this community. It doesn't matter If it's heart care, if it's cancer services, if it's stroke, pediatrics, orthopedics, they do it all. It's Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. All right, thanks again to Matt Parino for joining us. If you missed it a bit ago, we're still waiting on the official Saints injury report. Is it dropped?
Yeah, it's out. It's out. I saw Ross drop it during that interview, actually.
Okay, so here it is. We do have it officially now. Real quickly, we'll discuss it a bit more later. But as expected, Chase Young, Dylan Radins did not practice. Talese Fuaga, Trey Palmer, Devon Vele limited. Cam Jordan and Trevor Penning both on the injury report as full participants, but Cam Jordan with a groin and Trevor Penning still got that toe. But he was a full participant, even with the toe. It's after further review. Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin update their progress for this weekend's game in Oxford, on the SEC Coaches Teleconference. You'll hear their updates when we come back on AFR.
After further review.
Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I tell you every day to buy local and shop local because Clegg's Nursery for 6 decades has been serving our community. So bypass the big box store. Don't turn into the big orange or big blue box store. Go to Clegg's Nursery. Any of their 4 locations. They have an amazing selection. They have even better people to help you with whatever questions that you may have. And this is one of my favorite times of year because their fall decor is outstanding. Pumpkins, hay bales, squash gourds, scarecrows, wheat stalks. They got everything there for you. Go load up, decorate your patio, your back porch, maybe your office building, whatever it may be. Clegg's has an awesome fall decor selection. So get on by, shop local, buy local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers, because everything looks better when it's lit. We'll see you Friday, 3 to 6 from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Country Construction and roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
.104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes, high school student athletes, who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winner. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, the banking tradition since 1910.
They really asked Lane about his daughter dating Whit Weeks.
Yes, they did.
Play it.
Whit's an awesome kid and comes from a great family, and glad that those two are happy together, and has nothing to do with the game itself. So, but it's a really great family, and I think a lot of people got to see that probably on the SEC special where they were hunting with the family.
Did they ask a follow-up about how they met?
No.
Follow-up about first date?
No.
Has there been a first kiss?
Don't know. They didn't ask.
Whit asked for her hand in marriage?
I don't think so. No.
They didn't ask all those follow-ups?
No.
Didn't get all the real important, pertinent questions in there? In the teleconference?
No. Do you think if it weren't Lane, they would have asked? Like, if this was Kirby Smart, do you think somebody would have asked Kirby Smart that? I don't. I think it's because it's Lane.
Or were you asking me, or did you just want to give your opinion?
No, I mean, I was giving my opinion, but I was also asking you.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by how much people seem to care. Because I don't care. But as I say often, I don't do the show for me. I do it for you. So the things that you want to talk about and hear about that are interesting are the things that I'll talk about here. But I do not find this interesting. I hope they're very happy. I hope it goes great for them. Wish them a lot of luck. I would much rather see Whit have 15 tackles and put Lane's defense in a stranglehold, or Lane's offense in a stranglehold. That's what I'd rather see on Saturday. To the actual pertinent things about the football game. Now, Brian Kelly did give an update on Caden Durham. And this is, I believe, very relevant because Durham, bum ankle. Brian Kelly said not a high ankle. He told us that on Monday, but here was the update Wednesday morning.
I think we're going to list him as questionable today, and then we'll see how he progresses through practice, every day. So it could go from questionable to out or questionable to probable, depending on how he moves through the remainder of practices. And we won't make those assessments until we see the full body of work during practice.
Considering Braylon Moore played with a high ankle sprain and has played 2 games with a high ankle sprain, and one of them was against an FCS opponent, my guess is they're going to do their best to get Caden Durham out there to play this weekend against Ole Miss. And I know there's a contingent of the LSU fan base that is sort of bemoaning Caden Durham. I see you on my text line and my Twitter, and I don't know that that's representative of the entire fan base, but there is a portion of the fan base that is not pleased with the start of the season. Now, Durham is averaging over 4 yards a carry. He's got a couple of touchdowns, but he's got 52 rushing attempts. For context, the next most rushing attempts is Juwan Johnson with 16. That's 46 fewer rushing attempts than Caden Durham through 4 games. Like, he is by far your bell cow, your best back. And I'd like to remind you as well that last year against South Carolina, when you couldn't get anything going, you were losing, it was Caden Durham as a true freshman who picked up the ball, and you don't win that game without it. And then, by the way, he gets hurt against South Alabama dislocates a couple of toes, and plays the rest of the season with a friggin' plate in his foot just to get out there with his team. So if you're poo-pooing Caden Durham right now because you don't like the way the running game has looked through 4 games, like, shut up. Okay? Shut up. Got a large sample size of him last year as a very good, competent, capable SEC running back. He was the betting favorite to lead the league in rushing this year, and he'll get on track. Sometimes you got to be patient. There's a lot of things that have gone wrong with the run game at times. Some of it's missed blocks. Some of it's missed bad vision, missed holes. There's a lot of stuff there. You hope they get going. Now, if he's not available, I think it's a fascinating conversation because you have Juwan Johnson, you have Harlem Berry. Caleb Jackson only has 6 rushes for 6 yards so far through 4 games. He is just not effective. And you saw, I think, on Saturday where he was effective when he took that screen pass and he got about a 3 or 4 yard running head start and he trucked the linebacker. Like, that's where I think he's effective, when he gets a running start. He is a one-cut and get-upfield guy. If he has to dance around, which a lot of LSU running backs are having to do right now, it's not very effective. Xavier Thomas has 10 rushing attempts on the season, so it may very well be, if Durham can't go as limited, a by-committee approach, but you better believe I would much rather have the guy that has legit SEC experience, road game in the SEC, who's been in those spots and come up with big plays for you. I'd rather have that guy than not have him. So we'll follow and see how it goes with Caden Durham. The big difference, as I alluded to, like Braylon Moore playing on the high ankle, and we talked about it the week that Braylon was injured. It's a big difference with an offensive lineman and a skill guy, because with a lineman, man, you could just take that thing high and tight, you give them a shot if they need it, and they can just go live in a phone booth. The problem when you're talking about backs, receivers, cornerbacks, is the stopping, the starting, the cutting. The best example I can give, and I gave it, all that week with Braylon Moore, was Fournette in 2016. He hurt the ankle in fall camp. They got him right to go against Wisconsin. He re-injured it. He missed a month, came back, played for about a month, re-injured it, sat out, came back against Florida, never played again, only played 7 games that year. So it's one of those things, man, with those guys that stop and start and cut, the agility of the skill guys, where it can be a little more complex. So I think that's one that's certainly worth watching, because you're talking about an Ole Miss defense that is dead last in the SEC in rush defense. And they have been susceptible, not necessarily to the 5 and 6 and 7 yard gash. It's been the 2 yard, the 1 yard, the 2 yard, the 40 yard. It's the big play, which, oh, by the way, that's the thing LSU's done really well, is hit the big play. And that's what Ole Miss has given up. So I think those opportunities are going to be there for LSU in the run game this weekend. Maybe not consistently, but the big plays will certainly be there. We'll continue to follow as Brian Kelly will meet with reporters after practice on Thursday, and we'll get that designation for how the progress is going for Caden Durham. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Hey, remember, next Saturday, the open date, October the 4th, is Federalis Fest, music festival that is sponsored by the Williamson Eye Center. So if you're interested in learning more, if you want to get tickets, you can go to federalisfest.com. That's federalisfest.com to learn more about Federalis Fest. Great outdoor music festival. Dr. Blake is a pretty big supporter of outdoor music, or just of music in general. And they're proud supporters there of Federalis Fest. Tickets on sale now. You can get your tickets at federalisfest.com. I believe it's year 3 of Federalis Fest. All sponsored by the Williamson Eye Center. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We usually have Tigers and the Pros to wrap up the hour next. Russ Mitchell's here in 30 minutes from right now. One other thing I'm going to want to talk about here in about 15 minutes after the top of the hour for Sports Center. By now, you undoubtedly know that Jackson Dart is going to be starting for the New York Giants for the remainder of the season. That's been the declaration by Brian Daboll. So there's been a lot of speculation about what happens with Russell Wilson, and I was posed the question earlier today, should the Saints pursue Russell Wilson? I have some thoughts on that. We'll get to that after Sports Center in about 15 minutes. Muse has Tigers and the Pros next.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out. They'll never charge you extra to come out. And one thing that I would really, really, really like to impress upon you is their maintenance program. I'm a member of their membership, their maintenance club. I believe it's $25 a month. I need to make sure on that number before I spit it out there. But It's super affordable, and it pays for itself because you get complimentary seasonal maintenance. So the heater safety check and the AC tune-up, they do the service for free if you're part of the membership club. Then you also get membership club pricing whenever you do need a repair, and you get priority service in the event that there's something going on. It's so worth it. Ask about it at River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Big shout out, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. And I highly encourage, man. No matter how old you are, it's about how you feel. And sometimes you don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. It's worth going, man. Get that blood draw. Let them take a look at your hormone levels, see if they can safely, affordably supplement you to get you to healthy levels, get you feeling great again. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. By the way, guys, if you are already on HRT and you every 4 to 6 months to do your blood labs, at Goodwood, they don't charge you for that. They pick up the tab for your semi-annual blood labs. So if you're already on HRT, it's worth switching. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, some encouraging news here. Jaden Daniels did return to practice today for the Washington Commanders. He was a limited participant, but of course didn't practice at all last week and missed the game against the Vegas Raiders. It's a knee sprain. Daniels, after practice, said to reporters that he feels good and more like himself, but, quote, it's up to the doctors, not my decision. We'll keep you posted on Daniel's status throughout the week.
It's kind of his decision.
Kevin Gausman was on the bump a night ago for the Blue Jays. Pitched really well, but unfortunately got a tough luck loss. 5 2/3, gave up 4 earned, struck out 7, and only walked 1. His team will be in the playoffs, but that concludes Gausman's regular
he struck
season.
out Bregman.
He did strike out Bregman. Yes, he did. 1 of 7. That concludes Gausman's regular season at 10-11. Speaking of the end of the regular season coming, Paul Skeens will make his final start for the Pittsburgh Pirates here on Wednesday night. He's 10-10. Can he get to plus 500? And can he finish with an ERA below 2? It's at 2.03. He'll face the Cincinnati Reds. Innings will be limited, but this is the opportunity. Either way, I think he wins the Cy Young.
Oh, he's going to win the Cy Young. That's not even a question. It's just, will he be the first Cy Young winner ever with a losing record?
Yeah. And then how about this? Speaking of awards, Griffin Herring up for Minor League Pitcher of the Year. Across multiple levels, 8-4 with a 1.89 ERA, 23 starts, mind you, punched out 149 and 119 in the third innings pitched. We'll see if Griffin Herring, who's with the Rockies now, takes home that award. That'd be an awesome honor. That's Tigers and Pros.
Saw Connor Griffin was named Minor League Player of the Year.
Of course he was. I mean, can you imagine if that kid?
I think it was, well, of course, but I think it was Baseball America. Look it up. He won Minor League Player of the Year. It's incredible. What could have been? All right, Tigers and the Pros. Rouse's helping you cover the spread all throughout the year. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. No, we're not talking about the point spread. We're talking about your tailgate spread. And, of course, for more than 60 years, 65 to be exact, Rouse is helping you make groceries with your mom and them. Rouses.com. Download the Rouses app. If you're hitting the road to Oxford, load up those ice chests with some cold beer, some whiskey before you hit the road. Not that I'm encouraging you to drink and drive, but to get it for your tailgate is what I'm saying. Then, of course, all your party platters, trays, chips and dips, everything you want to meat for the grill, all that stuff. Maybe you're having a game watch party at home. Rouses can help you with all of it. Rouses.com or Rouses.com or Rouses. This feels like home. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review, wrapping up hour number 2, and glad you're hanging out with us here. Russ Mitchell in 20 minutes, recap, preview, some SEC football talk with Russ. Looking forward to that. He did text me saying he cannot wait to talk about the Oklahoma-Auburn game. I don't know what is percolating there, but he wants to talk about it. So we'll do that with Russ in about 20 minutes from right now. When we come back, should the New Orleans Saints pursue Russell Wilson? After the break.
AFR.
Putting a button here on hour 2. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Really pleased to be able to tell you earlier this week, Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier, a Parish Restoration customer. We all know Garrett got engaged recently. He and his bride-to-be had bought a home, and that home had mold. And it was I was talking to Jim Woodworth about it. It was a really serious mold problem. And so Jim got a call from Garrett, and Jim went over there, and they dry fogged the house, knocked out the mold. It's all clean, ship shape. So they did an NIL deal with Garrett as well, who's now endorsing Parish Restoration. So it's good enough for the quarterback of the Tigers. You can trust Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Mold, odor, other harmful pathogens, restoration, odor removal, all that stuff. They can help you out. Home, office building, doesn't matter how big or small. Parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parrishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers, because everything looks better when it's lit. We'll see you Friday, 3 to 6 from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Jackson Dart will be QB1 for the Giants the rest of this NFL season, starting this week against the Chargers, according to Coach Brian Daboll. Daboll took a pass when it came to explaining his decision to bench Russell Wilson for Dart, but did make it clear it was his decision. Daboll, 1-13 his last 14 games, on the hot seat in New York. Pro Football Hall of Famer Kurt Warner hoping that's not why the change was made.
Sometimes you start to feel that the coach is starting to feel that the seat is getting a little bit hotter, and that, you have to make some kind of move to try to spark something inside the locker room, because what's going on the football field just hasn't been good enough. And I just hope that's not the case here, that you're throwing Jackson Dart out there with a tough schedule and with all the issues you have offensively, and he's not quite ready.
Kurt Warner on the Rich Eisen Show. Baseball, Brewers and Padres tied at 1, bottom 6. Milwaukee's magic number for clinching the best record in the majors and home field advantage throughout the postseason is 2 over Philadelphia. San Diego's a game and a half back of the Cubs for the top NL wildcard spot and 1.5 back of the NL West leading Dodgers.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood. Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
It is hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Counting down to LSU and Ole Miss. Counting down to Saints at Bills.
It's hump day.
Counting down to Football Friday AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
Hump day.
Get your Christmas lights, y'all.
Hump day.
Russ Mitchell in a dozen minutes from right now.
It's hump day.
Wonder what he thinks about Lane and Landry.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Landry and Witt. That's what I meant more of that. Yeah, I meant that.
It's hump day.
Trinidad Chambliss starting at quarterback for Ole Miss.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We talked Bills with Matt Parino.
Hump day.
Talked about C.D. Deuce getting cut in Houston.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Could he return to the Saints?
Hump day.
No, absolutely not. Not a shot. No.
It's hump day.
No shot at all of that.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got a Caden Durham update for you.
Hump day.
He's questionable.
It's hump day.
But he could be probable.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But he could be out.
Hump day.
So we don't really have an update.
It's hump day.
We'll give you another update.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
After the break.
Hump day.
All right, let's get going here. 5 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. Russ in 11 minutes from right now. Lot to do. There was significant news in the NFL a day ago where Brian Daboll, the coach of the Giants, announced that Jackson Dart, the rookie out of Ole Miss, is going to be starting not just this week against the Chargers, but for the remainder of the season. That is relevant here because the Saints host the New York Football Giants a week from Sunday in the Dome. So that means, barring something unforeseen between now and next Sunday, New Orleans will face rookie quarterback Jackson Dart. That's part of the story. The other part of the story now is what happens with Russell Wilson. And there was a piece earlier today that I came across that was suggesting possible spots for Russ. We know, he's a former Super Bowl champion whose time in Seattle ended. He went to Denver. Last year was in Pittsburgh. This year is in New York with the Giants. He's become certainly a journeyman here late in his career, as happens with a lot of guys that aren't ready to hang it up, but aren't really at the point of their career where any franchise is willing to invest in them as a franchise quarterback. So they bounce around a bit. And the primary options were, one, he could retire. It doesn't sound like he wants to do that. Russell Wilson has said he still believes that he's an NFL quarterback and wants to continue playing. The Cincinnati Bengals were another option, and that sort of makes sense, right? That's a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson. You have a situation where the Bengals fancy themselves as a contender. You're going to be without Joe Burrow for several months. Is Jake Browning the guy that can keep you in contention until Burrow comes back? If not, could Russell Wilson potentially be that guy? It's an interesting option, potentially. That's one that clearly Cincinnati would have to make that decision. But the other option was New Orleans. And kind of work through the options that New Orleans has right now with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck, and that the Saints are 29th out of 32 teams in the NFL in points per game. They have the fourth fewest yards per play, third fewest yards per pass. Spencer Rattler as a starter is 0-9. They're just not any good. And so could Russ come in and provide a better option for New Orleans than either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck? And I think the answer to that question is probably yes. That's going to surprise some people because Russell Wilson has he feels washed. But I think we have to understand context. Is Russell Wilson washed in terms of his ability to be a franchise quarterback that can lead you to a championship, or his ability to be a starter in the NFL? Remember, I said this about Derek Carr all the time. I never disputed whether or not Derek Carr was an NFL a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. He was certainly that. He was just not an elite quarterback. You were never going to win anything with Derek Carr. That was my problem. He was a lower, I said it all the time, lower, mid-tier, upper, bottom-tier starter, which I think is probably where Russ is right now. But he's still a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. My goodness, just a week ago at Dallas, he threw for 450 yards. He was 30 of 41 for 450 and 3 tuds. Now, he committed a brutal mistake that cost him the game in overtime, but you can't tell me he's not capable of still performing at a high level. And I want to be very clear. I don't think at all the Saints should go after Russell Wilson. No shot do I think the Saints should make a play for Russell Wilson. But these are two different conversations we're having. Now, I, hand in air, back in 2022, after Sean Payton retired, I pushed for the Saints to trade for Russell Wilson. Remember, Seattle was putting Russell Wilson on the open market. They were moving on from him. And I wanted the Saints to bring him in. The Saints at that time were just a year removed from their playoff appearance in 2020. What's now their last playoff appearance. They missed the playoffs in 2021. Jameis was hurt. And so you go into 22, and Russ was available. I very much wanted the Saints to sign Russell Wilson 5 years ago, or 3 years ago. They dodged that bullet. Seattle knew. Same as what I said that the Raiders knew forever about Derek Carr, that he was done. Like, he had reached his ceiling in the NFL. Russ goes to Denver. He's 4-11 his first year, 7-8 his second year. Last year he goes to Pittsburgh. He's 6-5 as a starter. This year with the terrible Giants team, he's 0-3. But he had a winning record in Pittsburgh. They were 7-8 in his 15 starts in Denver in 2023. He's still capable of playing at a high level. But here's the problem. Like, would Russell Wilson make the New Orleans Saints a better team today? Yes. Russell Wilson, let this seep into your brain. This is going to be hard for a lot of people to understand who want to hate Russ. But he threw for 450 2 weeks ago, or last 2 Sundays ago. Russell Wilson is still a capable starter. He, today, is a better option than either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck today. However, even if you add Russell Wilson, you are not anywhere near a playoff team. You're not sniffing the playoffs with this roster. I don't need to spell it all out. 4 first-rounders on the offensive line, and your offensive line stinks. Alvin Kamara, God bless, he's running hard, but you got an aging running back. You don't have a legit number 1 receiver. Chris Olave fancies himself as that. He's not. And your defense, my God. So even if you added someone like Russell Wilson, you're not a contender. So do not give up a future asset to be marginally better this year. Because even marginally better this year doesn't make you a playoff team or a contender in any fashion. The only benefit, singular, 1_bold, the only benefit for New Orleans adding someone like Russell Wilson today is that it would give Rattler and Shuck the opportunity just to sit and watch. Just sit and watch. Sit and watch and be around a veteran quarterback who's won a Super Bowl, who's been to Pro Bowls, who's been an MVP candidate, someone who can show you how to be a pro. To have that example. But I lobbied for that, not necessarily with Russ, with other veterans this offseason to bring someone into that room to serve that role. And the Saints didn't want to do it. They have the smallest financial investment per the percentage of the salary cap in quarterback of any team in the NFL. They don't seem like they're interested in investing in quarterback. I don't think they should give up an asset to bring in a veteran quarterback because it's all about, at this point, building for the future of this organization. So I don't know what's going to happen with Russell Wilson. What I do know is the Saints shouldn't give up anything to bring him here. Now, if the Giants cut him, which I do not think that will happen, they will keep, they had Jameis there as well. But if they did cut him and you could sign him as a free agent, okay, I'd be on board with that. But I am not in any way okay with giving up a future asset to make this team marginally better in 2025. All right, it's after further review. Love telling you about Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. I love getting photos from so many of you at the store, at your home, at the grocery store, driving around, hydrating with Evermore. So many of you have become exposed to this brand, who have tried it, loved it. You've gone online, you've read the Google reviews, you've incorporated Evermore as part of your daily routine, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Natural artesian water. It's a healthier alternative for your family, for your children, for high-performance athletes, and it's a Louisiana product. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. Hydration for the win. Okay, quick break. Come back. Brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Russ Mitchell joins us. Recap last week, preview this week. Who's he got? LSU, Ole Miss. We'll do all that with Russ as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
I love this partnership we have with Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. And I've told you that, yes, they will build your beautiful, premium, custom pool at Duplessis Builders. But they will also, they have on their website a tab at the top that says Pick Your Pool. If you go to the website, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, there's a Pick Your Pool tab at the top of the page. And if you hit that tab, it'll show you all the different models of pools that they offer for quite literally any budget. You want your premium custom pool, they absolutely do those, and they do it better than anybody. But they also have options for any budget. Learn more at DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. If you thought to yourself, I'd love a pool, I just can't afford it. Think again. DuplessisBuilders.net. Hit the Pick Your Pool tab at the top of the page.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers, because everything looks better when it's lit. We'll see you Friday, 3 to 6 from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires.
Russ!
Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football!
Rusty, come on up here.
Absolutely, I thought that was going to happen because it's state. It's supposed to happen.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
How are things out there at DBU?
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
It's like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
All right, let's get it. Do it every Wednesday. Russ Mitchell joins us at Russ Mitchell CFB is where you can get him. How are you?
Kicking tires, lighting fires, baby.
Why are you so excited to talk about the Auburn-Oklahoma game from last week?
I thought you were going to ask me about the Landry Witt thing.
I don't care about that. That's stupid.
It's funny because
good for them. I hope they have a great life. Super
knows
successful.
Your daughter's never, ever going to root for you over her boyfriend. It's such a dumb question, man. No daughter's rooting for her dad. It's ridiculous. The Auburn boy, you know what? If you're an Auburn fan right now, I got to tell you, you got a lot to be upset about in that game because there were several calls. I'm sure you guys have been over it already, but that pick six was a joke. That was criminal. And the fake substitution on the sideline, what was that?
I love that so much. We did that play in high school, Russ. We ran the hideout play a bunch in high school, and it works every time. You can't do it every week, but like, it's kind of like Les with the over-the-shoulder fake field goal.
No.
You do it every now and again when they're not expecting it. No, my point is, like, you can't do it every week. But, every now and again, when you catch them napping, you get it. It works every time. I love the hideout play.
I've
very illegal, apparently, in college football, but I love it.
Yeah, any rule, any play, it's like quarterbacks that can just chuck the ball out of bounds. When a defensive lineman's worked his tail off to get to him, and we have a rule to protect quarterbacks. It's called sliding. Any rule that if you did it on a playground with your friends, you would get a nickname that rhymes with.
Don't do it. No.
And you would get that nickname, and it would stick with you for 80 years. And that's the play that Oklahoma ran against Auburn, right?
No,
that's
it's awesome. It's genius.
Ridiculous.
It's
and
genius.
then the pass interference on the end zone, on the goal line. But you can't get past the 10 sacks, dude. 10 sacks.
All refs are bad at their job. Don't get sacked 10 times.
10 times. And now Mateer's injured, so Although if you look at their schedule, they've got a bye, then they get can't read, can't write, Kent State. So it's like it's not until Texas, and so we'll see how it impacts Oklahoma.
That's if he comes back for then. I mean, dude's having thumb surgery, Russ.
Dude, can we also talk about what a cheater Arbuckle is? I love that guy. Wait. You're not racing if you're not rubbing. I don't like the substitution call because I think that's just nonsense. You run to the sideline and stop and you're wide open. What a joke.
So good. I love it.
He loves running those. I mean, his receivers are basically running basketball pick plays on every single play. It's fun to watch.
What did you make of Ole Miss? The manner in which they beat Tulane with Chambliss at quarterback.
It was good to see the defense actually show up. They scored on every trip into the red zone. That was impressive. They were consistent, just like LSU was consistent. But, and Tulane's obviously is a better step up than what LSU was playing.
Sure.
In the, the school of the blind, the children of the poor. But he did avoid turnovers to Trinidad. So, but there's not much you can take out of these games.
Okay. What about South Carolina, Missouri?
That was a very interesting game. The first thing I'll take out of that is, Lenore Sellers I really think one day he's going to be a great quarterback.
He might be.
It's just not right now.
Yeah.
It's just not. He can make some great throws. It's like Arnold in that game against Oklahoma. He overthrew so many receivers. And you watch Sellers too. I mean, he makes 2 great plays and then a bonehead play. But, Missouri, God bless them, they were down at halftime, but they made South Carolina completely one-dimensional. The Gamecocks with -9 rushing yards, 3 and 11 on third downs. Missouri, meanwhile, ran the ball well. Hardy ran the ball well. I was very impressed with Missouri. I am very impressed with Missouri, which is a very uncomfortable place to find yourself when you're very impressed with Missouri.
Missouri also hasn't left their home field yet. They have not played a team with a pulse, and South Carolina is a bad football team.
Agreed.
So
take that back. Take that back because Kansas is a good team.
I don't think Kansas
is a good team.
I watched that game. That was not close. I know what the score was until the fourth quarter. It's still, the yardstick was not close, and I don't think Kansas is very good after watching them this year.
You're wrong. Kansas is a good team, but I will say you're right. They haven't left the state, and they certainly haven't been challenged by the best in the sport.
Kansas is not a good team. You can define.
You gonna ask me about Florida?
You can define good team how you want, but if you mean to tell me any type of contending team, they are not. Yes, I would love to know. Actually, the way I was going to ask you is this. Napier or Pittman, who gets fired first?
Oh, it's got to be Napier. Have you looked at the schedule? I mean, that is a brutal schedule, man. And by the way, I'm not laughing about anybody being fired, right? Because it's not just one person who's making $21 million in a buyout. There's lots of other people that get laid off.
Good point.
In those situations, and lots of people. So, we're not laughing at anybody individually, but, I mean, it's a train wreck. 36 first half yards. Wow. I mean, that was embarrassing to watch in the rain, sure. But, just really embarrassing to watch. Carson had a bad day. He had a rough day again in the rain, and give him a little bit of a nod, but the Gators are looking terrible.
Arkansas plays Notre Dame this week.
I know. Is Notre Dame in the conference? What's going on there? But
I'll just say, fine, let me elaborate on my point then. Arkansas plays Notre Dame, which I presume they will lose. Florida has an open date this week. My point is, if Arkansas loses this week, could they maybe move on from Pittman this week? Florida obviously isn't going to fire Napier during the open date.
I don't think. I mean, you're Arkansas, unless your coach gets caught on a motorbike with a neck brace and lies about it. I don't think you're firing your coach mid-season. You're going to run it out and trying to save some money. So I don't. But I will say, Taylor Green, 325 yards against Memphis, made some big plays under pressure, but only 3 points in the second half. Arkansas. I mean, that was embarrassing.
You more impressed with the Tigers that Nussmeier's torso apparently isn't ripped to shreds and he can still throw a football?
Well, it's just great to see that against the D team. D is in. It's great to see that the team can be effective against. At least you came out of it without any injuries, right?
Well, you lost Gabe Relaford, and Caden Durham's got an ankle injury.
It was a joke, dude. It was sarcasm. I don't take very much out of playing these opponents. You did what the team did, what it was supposed to do, and that was nice against a team that really had zero business being on the field with LSU.
Agreed. However, the physical nature of Nussmeier actually showing he can throw the ball deep and accurately and move, like that's what people wanted. I'm with you on the score. People wanted to see him be able to physically do that.
I don't think this is a Nussmeier problem. Nussmeier knows how to play quarterback. He's a year older, a year smarter. He's probably only taking, how many classes is he taking? Is he on the Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels one class right now? I mean, he's not the problem. And
you're missing the point. It was the whole thing about his torso that everyone was consumed with last week, was just his not whether he could, it was just the physical ability to be able to throw with the torso and torque and all that stuff. Well, clearly he showed you he can.
Yeah, I never thought for a minute that was a problem. So that's why
Good.
I wasn't impressed.
Good. You and I agree on that.
It's the offensive line and being able to run the ball and converting on third downs. That's the biggest issue.
You're pretty good.
And we didn't learn anything from the game last week.
Yeah, no doubt. Except that Garrett Nussmeier's torso is fine. So on. Let's do this. Well, I'm serious. Like, Russ, I don't think you realize how big of a thing that was here. Like, I couldn't go anywhere without people asking about the stupid torso, which was not a thing. It's a thing.
That's why coaches do this. That's why coaches do it.
Like, it's a thing in the sense that it's literally something, but it was nothing that was affecting anything.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, I think he was a little banged up all the way back to spring ball or fall ball, right?
Yes, that's when it happened. Yeah.
There was probably a little bit in it, but it had far more to do with Kelly trying to distract everybody from his offensive line that can't block on a run play and inability to convert on third down than it had to do really with anything wrong with Nussmeier.
All right, let's talk about this week, including the Tigers and the Rebels from Oxford. We'll do that with Russ Mitchell as we continue. You can get Russ at Russ Mitchell CFB. This week's game previews coming up next on AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, we are moving into the hottest real estate period of the year in this market. I know that throws people off a lot when we talk about it because people think, oh, no, the springtime or the summertime when people are trying to move at the end of the year. No. November. October, November is the busiest real estate time in this market annually because it makes sense. You want to be in your new home for the new year? You want to be in your new home for the holidays? This is when people move. So, if you're thinking of selling your home, you first got to know how much your home is worth. I got an idea. Go to agent225.com, agent225.com. That's Darren James's website, newly redesigned. It's got an awesome tool. It's the home value tool at agent225.com. Do it right now. Grab your phone. If you or you just own your home and you're just wondering how much it's worth. Go to agent225.com, hit the home value tab. As quickly as you can type in your address, boom, it'll tell you exactly how much your home is worth. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Rolling along, Russ Mitchell joining us, taking a look at the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. We'll get to LSU and Ole Miss here in a smidge. Let's start with maybe what might be the biggest one in the country. Georgia hosting Alabama. It was a memorable one a year ago where Bama got a big Georgia rally, took the lead, and then Ryan Williams made one of the most spectacular plays any of us would ever see. Georgia's a 3.5-point home favorite. Both teams coming off a bye. Where do you lean here?
You know, it's interesting. Do you know Alabama's defense right now is dead last? Dead last. Alabama's defense is dead last in the SEC in allowing opponents to convert on third down.
Yeah,
it's week 5. Yeah. They haven't even played anybody really. I mean, and they're dead last. You would think they would be doing much better in stopping opponents. It's not like Georgia's been lighting it up, right? It's not like Gunner's been fantastic on third down, but dead last in the country in allowing opponents to convert on third down. Now you got to go into Sanford Stadium, and that crowd tax, 33 straight wins at home in Sanford, 52-4 in Kirby's career. The longest active streak, 33 straight, by the way, in FBS football. And I know Bama gets back Keenan, a defensive tackle. They also get back Miller in the backfield running the ball. But with, the fact that the defense is dead last and allowing the other team to stay on the field, the fact that you've got to go into that stadium and play, and the fact that Kirby's had 2 weeks to plan, and you can say Kalen's had 2 weeks to plan, but I mean, if I got to pick between Kirby and Kalen, I'm going to say that 2 weeks for Kirby is a bigger deal. So I like Georgia at home in this game.
Kalen DeBoer.
And I don't think I'm alone.
Kalen DeBoer, great coach. Championships at the lower level. He's a great coach. Get out of here. I hope Georgia.
His mother thinks he's a
dog.
His mother thinks he's a great guy.
Here's my question. Here's my question. When Georgia pile drives Alabama, what do I do next week? Because now, I just got to keep upping the ante. Like, what do I do?
Oh, I know. Actually, we should just. I'm so superstitious. And by the way, I love all my children the same. I don't care if Alabama wins or Georgia wins.
No, you don't. We all know the truth.
But
you got a white Tittle jersey behind you. You got a piece of a goalpost from Vanderbilt last year on your wall.
What? Well, I was going to say when a man gives you his jersey, you put it on your office wall. But there's no excuse for the Vanderbilt upright. I say you get like a doghouse and come out of the doghouse.
What if I do? No. What if I do the Georgia spiked shoulder pads thing? And what if I do like the idiot who paints the bulldog thing on his bald head? What if I do that guy?
Actually, you could really do that, and that would be a step down. I mean, look, losing to Georgia in Georgia is not that. Depending on how it happens, right? Losing to Georgia in Sanford Stadium is certainly nothing to be that shocked about.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
To pour cold water on your Bama's burning.
No, I'll figure it out. It'll be great. Try it'll always be great. Auburn coming off a loss goes to Texas A&M, undefeated, coming off a bye. So Auburn back-to-back road conference games. A&M coming off a bye. This feels like a really tough spot for Auburn.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, plus Hugh Freeze is now 1-9 against ranked AP opponents since moving out on the plains.
Ooh,
so
good number.
Yeah, it's ugly. That's just ugly. There's no other way to really sort of frame that. 1-9 is pretty bad. Not as bad as Auburn's offensive line, though. I mean, they say about professors, publish or perish, right? They gotta protect Arnold or they're gonna perish. And this Aggie defensive front is averaging 3 sacks a game. They're really good. And if Auburn finds themselves in 3rd and long situations like they did, and a lot of this is on Jackson, he holds onto the ball for too long. But, that 12th man starts going, and it's such a cult atmosphere out there in Kyle Field. So, I think this is a bad place. And Jeremiah Cobb, for crying out loud, you've got a great running back, Auburn. You gave him the ball 6 times in Norman. 6 times you gave him the ball. You got to feed Cobb and let him run the ball. So, but I don't think they will. And I like A&M, and I can't believe it.
Wasn't that the knock last year with Hugh, that they wouldn't give the ball to Jarquez Hunter?
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, it's weird, Russ, because LSU and Auburn haven't played for 2 years, so it's a little out of sight, out of mind. But that was the big knock a year ago. Like, what do you do?
And what's Hugh Freeze's record against AP ranked teams again?
1-9 since he's been at Auburn.
1-9. That's right.
Do you know who the one is? Do you know who the win is?
Why do you you just can't take it?
I'm just curious.
You got to be so greedy that you ask for. What is wrong with you? Why can't you just take the 1-9? I don't know who the one is off the top of my head.
All right. We'll get to LSU. I want to leave time for LSU. Ole Miss. Anything on Notre Dame, Arkansas?
Arkansas can throw the ball. They're 15th. And by the way, Notre Dame's pass defense. Guess where Notre Dame's pass defense is in the country right now?
A bajillionth.
132nd in the country. Notre Dame's pass defense.
Apparently, when you have a senior-laden team and they're all gone, then you take a giant step back.
Love and Price. It's not a law firm. It's a backfield, man. Just feed them the ball. Hogs are almost dead last in the SEC in run defense. I think you're going to see a lot of Notre Dame running in this game.
Kentucky and South Carolina is a pillow fight. Can Kentucky go to Columbia and put a scare in them? That's a short line, Russ. That's 5.5.
Kentucky is amongst the worst teams in the country in allowing explosive plays. So if Sellers is ever going to really light it up and get going, and Jacobs had a pretty good game out in Columbia against Missouri. So expect some big plays from South Carolina at home, and I like the Gamecocks.
Okay. All right. Let's dive into LSU and Ole Miss. Seen a lot of line movement on this one. Ole Miss is a slight home favorite here. Chambliss is going to start at quarterback. Let's start there with what you think about the decision that to start Chambliss at quarterback.
Well, if you're an LSU fan, you're probably pretty happy about that because this kid was playing for Ferris State last year, and I don't care what he did against Arkansas or Tulane, but I think the country is very divided right now, but I think we can all come together and agree that Ferris is not a state.
Agreed.
It's a wheel. And I wouldn't, if I was Trinidad Chambliss, I hope somebody is preparing this kid for what's about to land on his head. One of those old school from when I was a kid, Roadrunner anvil thing is about to land on Chambliss's head. I will say, Ole Miss obviously brings the top 10 total offense. LSU's defense has had 11 sacks. It's very aggressive. They get turnovers. I don't think everybody is trying to make this game about Ole Miss's offense and Kiffin and LSU's defense. To me, that's not what this game is really about. It's about LSU's offense because you've got to keep the ball away from Kiffin, not Chambliss. You got to keep the ball away from Kiffin. And, LSU is barely top 40 in the country in converting on third downs. That's after, the Sisters of the Poor this week where you got 65%. You're still barely in the top 40 converting on third downs. You're 109th in the nation in yards per carry. And now you're going to potentially play without your starting running back? The only way that works is if you take the ball away from them more. And I will point out that they are near the bottom of the SEC in turnover margin. So maybe that will be a factor in the game. I do think this is going to be a much closer game, and it's going to come down to your offense and your running game. And if you can't run the ball, if you're under 4 yards a carry, you're going to lose. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to eat this kid for dinner, and I like LSU on the road.
Ole Miss is dead last in the SEC in rush defense. Do you think that helps get LSU going?
From your lips to God's ears, man.
It's bad.
I will tell you
right
this.
now, yeah?
I will tell you this. Your defense, and I love how great. I like me a little aggressive, and I love how aggressive this secondary is. You can expect a lot of hitch and goes in this game, man. Kiffin is going to try to expose that. He's going to try to bait that secondary in on some out routes and watch them cut up field. So I'm sure Blake and the team will be ready for that. But if this game was in LSU, if this game was in Baton Rouge, not a chance. But at home, I think it'll be very tight, and it's going to come down to whether or not you guys can keep the ball and run it.
He's Russ Mitchell. Got a really nice hat there as well. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Oh, tell us about this Echo Collectibles thing going on with the Ryder Cup.
My buddy's got a company that they just started, Echo Collectibles, which it's basically, such a great idea. It's, as a guy who's got, thousands of dollars of sports memorabilia that's plastic in his office, it's, instead of plastic, it's gold and silver coins with like museum quality, really lovely pieces. And it starts off with the U.S. Ryder Cup and Keegan Bradley. So you can go to echocollectibles.com and take a look at some of those coins. It's a great way to combine the love of sports and events with actually something that is worth more than plastic.
Echocollectibles.com. I don't care about the Ryder Cup, but if you get something like with LSU or the Saints on it, I might buy that.
We're working on it.
Okay. I love to hear that. Thank you, Russ.
All right. Later.
That is Russ Mitchell. It's After Further Review. Get on by Supper Club, y'all. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservations. I'm overdue. It's been a couple of weeks. I need to go back. SupperClubBTR.com. Actually, last time I went, had one of the Sagrera cuts, had some bison last time I was at Supper Club. Chef Layton is always, especially if you've been to Supper Club a bunch and you've seemingly tried everything on the menu, he's always coming up with new creative things like the bison entree. But man, I get to this point sometimes where I just start just craving that veal parm. It's a gigantic veal chop. It's served, breaded and fried at tableside, where they bring the skillet with the Parmesan and the melted cheese, and they lay it over that chop there tableside, so it maintains the crispness. Oh, it's so good. It's at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. You're celebrating something, go to Supper Club. You just need a place to go after LSU and Ole Miss on Saturday? Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. Remember, open seating at the bar. They have 14 bar stools, I think 7 bar tables. It's always open seating at the bar. So first come, first served. You want a reservation? SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're going to knock out our final break. We'll come back. Jimmy will do Otterlocks. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. Thanks to Russ for being here. Matt Parino covers the Buffalo Bills, was here at last hour as well. We talked a ton today. Chase Young not at practice. Trevor Penning still got a toe, but was back at practice today. That was good to see, as was Taliesin Fuaga. So we'll continue to roll along here as the Saints hopefully getting healthier as they head to Buffalo this weekend to take on the Bills. All right, Otters here for Otterlocks next. Stay far.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. I love telling you about the G team. Garrett Nussmeier, G and G, Gordon and Garrett. Garrett Nussmeier, newest member of the G team. Of course, ever since NIL became a thing, Gordon has been so invested into helping the Tigers win, which that might be a reason alone to give him a call if you need an attorney. Call Gordon and his team. They got offices all over the state of Louisiana, so no matter where you're listening or watching, if you're in the state of Louisiana and you find yourself in need of an attorney, get Gordon and get it done. Just call 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. I say it every day. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Don't go it alone. You can trust Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys with offices all over the state of Louisiana, so you don't have to travel. Gordon and his team will go to work for you to get you what you deserve. GetGordon.com, getgordon.com. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Remember, lowest prices, never any contracts. You want to feel like your younger self. They can help. Yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. All right, time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Good, Matt. How about you?
Doing really well. See, we got a ton of baseball today, huh?
Yeah, we do, man. That is the best regular day of the regular season I ever can remember. I mean, 7 different parks, including Yankee Stadium last night, Wrigley Field, Arizona, Seattle was crazy. Cleveland, and nothing topped Cleveland last night. Scooble, we lost that one last night. He had the 2-0 lead, but came up 3 runs in the 6th inning, and the ball never left the infield. So let's start right there. And Cleveland is just finally now they own the tiebreaker. And 2 games left in this 3-game series. They're tied, but the tiebreaker goes to Cleveland. That 12.5 game lead was less than a month ago is gone. And Tyler Bybee for the Indians, the Guardians on the hill tonight for Cleveland. He beat Scooble in Detroit last time. Going against Flaherty, we're going to take the Guardians minus the money right there. It was 35 earlier. I think it's climbing up.
It's 144 right now.
144. Hunter Green and Paul Skeens. This will be the last appearance for Paul Skeens tonight. Hunter Green was outstanding. Shut out the Oakland A's. The red-hot hitting Oakland A's last time. Going to take Green simply because of this. Cincinnati fell a game back behind the Mets last night for that wild card spot. Skeens has been limited on his pitch count, so maybe 5 innings. So that's why we're going. Green is going to stay in the game much longer than Skeens tonight. We're going to take the Reds, who need it tonight, against Paul Skeens.
By the way, that one's underway. It's up to $1.40 on the money line with the Reds. There are 2 out. I'm sorry. They're going to the top of the 2nd here, so they're through 1. You still like the value at $1.40?
That's a little high. It's getting a little high.
Yeah, you can in-game it. Just watch it for the next half inning.
Right.
Maybe in-game it.
Right. Boston, Ocean Springs, Garrett Crochet. He is the runner-up. Maybe an outside shot to steal the American League Cy Young away from Scooble. He has been on fire as of late. They won it last night. Boston minus 128 on the road at Toronto. Cubbies blew a 6-1 lead with the wind blowing in Wrigley last night. The Mets, their biggest comeback win of the year. But the Cubs have their ace on the mound tonight, Boyd. We're taking the Cubbies minus 120. And then a moneyline parlay, Seattle with Castillo, Snell for the Dodgers. Seattle and Dodgers moneyline parlay. Snell has not given up a run his last 2 starts. He's on fire right now. Castillo has been really hot for Seattle. Seattle clinched a wild card last night. They'll clinch the division tonight, plus 120 there. Las Palmas tomorrow. Las Palmas Mexican restaurant on Airline in Gonzales tomorrow for Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
All right. 5 plays. If you missed them, you get them online at louisianasports.net. Catch Otter and Hanny tomorrow at Las Palmas on Airline in Gonzales. Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
All right, same to you. All right, that'll do it for us here. Remember, if you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. It's all there for you. Podcast, YouTube, however you want it. All right, that'll do it for us here. Muse Pauly, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
If you're thinking of buying land, First South Farm Credit is how you buy land. They're your first option. It's First South Farm Credit. They've been farmers' first option for agriculture for more than 100 years. First South Farm Credit. They've been first in agriculture for 100 years. They make it your first call. First South Farm Credit. And as a member-owned cooperative specializing in financing anything rural, they can help with whatever land, recreational property, equipment, hunting, recreational property. They finance it all. It's First South Farm Credit. And for more than 100 years, since 1916, that's the one thing they've done, is help Louisianians buy land. With branches in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, 44 branches. They can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. So if you're thinking of buying land, make your first call. First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.